The first story the Bible tells about the grown-up Jesus is short and packed with mysteries. And Jesus shows up one day out of nowhere at the river to get baptized by the prophet John. This is strange in itself. Baptism was the ritual John was telling people to do to wash away their old mistakes and get a fresh start. But Jesus is supposed to be the Son of God, with God's own character. Why would a perfect person need a sin bath? And then, when Jesus is being baptized, the Holy Spirit shows up. Remember, the Spirit is a person with God's power and knowledge. But again, Jesus is the Son of God. Why would he need any help? And then there's the mysterious voice from heaven that speaks out loud to lavish praise on Jesus. This voice only speaks out loud twice in Jesus' entire life. If God was going to talk out loud that rarely, this seems like a very strange time to play one of the two speaking cards. I mean, Jesus hasn't even done anything yet to compliment him on. We aren't the only people to wonder why Jesus would get baptized. Some of his biographers mention that John tried to talk Jesus out of this because John sees Jesus has nothing to wash off, but Jesus insists. Why? Jesus gets in the water because the rest of us need to get in the water. Jesus wants to get close to us so badly, he'll even share our dirty bathwater. But more than that, Jesus is committed to laying a path for us to follow. So he starts where we're meant to start, with a moment of washing off our mistakes and expressing our intention to change. If you've ever seen a Christian be baptized, that's kind of what we're doing. It's a way of starting fresh. And it's a public expression of commitment, kind of like a wedding ceremony. It's a way you say in front of other people, I am ready to be part of something new. I'm ready to join in with God's story of setting the world right. Well, Jesus is in the river. The Holy Spirit shows up. Why? Well, remember, Jesus isn't Clark Kent. He's living out our human story as it's meant to be lived. To do that, Jesus had to leave all his God powers back in heaven. The Holy Spirit has no such constraint. When the Spirit shows up, all of God's power and knowledge come along. So the Spirit arriving now is no coincidence. It's crucial to what comes next. Everything that happens from here, everything that Jesus will do, will be done with the help of this invisible partner. And at the end of the story, Jesus will promise that his partner is now willing to be the partner of anyone who becomes a follower of Jesus. As we'll see, it's a pretty mind-blowing offer. And then there's the voice from the clouds that breaks in at that moment to say, "You are my son, whom I dearly love. In you I find happiness." Jesus hasn't done anything yet that he'll become famous for. He hasn't performed any miracles or confronted any leaders. He hasn't died for anyone. But that's key to the point. God's total love and joy and approval are already his before he started any of his public work. Again, Jesus is meant to start where we start. He receives God's love and approval first, because so do we. There's something you absolutely need to know about yourself. Your parents might have tried for years to have you, or they might have drank too much vodka on New Year's Eve. They might have treasured you, or abused you, or abandoned you, but they don't own your story. God does. You exist because God wanted you. God had all the possible ingredients in the universe to work with, and God chose to make one of you specifically for this particular time. You were chosen. You were designed. God doesn't just love you, God likes you. Your existence makes God happy. I have 3 tiny nephews that I'm crazy about. They haven't done anything to earn that yet. Honestly, all 2 of them have done so far is mostly poop and spit on things. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. The moment their picture pops up on my phone, I start smiling and have all the feelings. They are germy, stinky little packages of joy to me. And that's how God feels about you. You are my son. You are my daughter, dearly loved. Your mere existence makes me happy. These words aren't just for Jesus, they're for you. Everything God will ever say to you or ask of you comes from this place. It's rooted in the pure love of a parent who longs for nothing more than your joy. Everything changes when you start to realize this. You know there's no good thing God would withhold. There's nowhere God wouldn't pursue you. You don't have to earn this. It's your given starting place every morning. Let's read the story in Luke 3, verses 21 to 22. One day when the crowds were being baptized, Jesus himself was baptized. As he was praying, the heavens opened, and the Holy Spirit, in bodily form, descended on him like a dove. And a voice from heaven said, "You are my dearly loved Son. and you bring me great joy. I'm Megan Larissa Good, and this has been Reading Jesus. If you'd like to join me in conversation, you can go to patreon.com/Jesus Collective Community and look for the Luke 3 post. Thanks for spending a few minutes in Luke with me, and I'll see you next time.